Arsenal versus Newcastle, September 28th, one of the Premier League's most fiery fixtures. History, passion, and two tactical masterminds colliding once again. Today, we're diving deep. The last 6 head-to-heads, the formations Arteta and Howe might deploy, and exactly how this clash could change the shape of the season. Buckle up, because this isn't just a preview. This is football, decoded. Let's rewind. What do the last 6 Arsenal versus Newcastle clashes tell us? May 2024. Arsenal 2-0 Newcastle. Arsenal dominated with control. Odegaard pulling strings. Newcastle struggled to break through a compact block. Key lesson: Arsenal's midfield shape suffocates Newcastle when they're sharp. February 2024. Newcastle 2-0 Arsenal. League Cup semi-final, Emirates. Newcastle stunned Arsenal at home, pressing high and countering ruthlessly. Goals from Joelinton and Gordon. Lesson: Newcastle thrive when they go fearless and exploit transitions. November 2023. Newcastle 1-0 Arsenal. Tight game at St James Park, decided by Gordon's scrappy winner. Arsenal dominated possession, but Newcastle's physical edge made the difference. Lesson: Newcastle's defensive resilience plus aggression can stifle Arsenal. May 2023. Arsenal 2-0 Newcastle, away. Arteta's men clinical on the road. Odegaard opened scoring. Newcastle couldn't cope with Arsenal's energy. Lesson: when Arsenal press and transition quickly, they blunt Newcastle's edge. January 2023. Arsenal 0-0 Newcastle. A tactical chess match. Arsenal frustrated. Newcastle compact, no breakthrough. Lesson: how can frustrate Arteta if his block holds? May 2022. Newcastle 2-0 Arsenal. Newcastle battered Arsenal's fragile backline. Wilson and Bruno dominant, a night Arsenal fans won't forget. Lesson: at St James, Newcastle can turn intensity into intimidation. In the last 6, Arsenal 3 wins, Newcastle 3 wins, no draws. A rivalry balanced on a knife edge. Arsenal dominate at their best. Newcastle punch above when fearless. History tells us Sunday will not end quietly. Arsenal predicted 4-3-3. GK, Raya Def, White, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Timber mid, Rice, Joelinton's aerial presence. Trippier's deliveries remain a huge weapon. Rice versus Bruno Gyökeres, control of midfield tempo. Saka versus burn Arsenal's pace against Newcastle's physicality. Gyökeres versus Botman, a bruising striker duel. Gordon versus White, Newcastle's most direct outlet. Set pieces. Both sides have aerial power. Game could turn on one dead ball. First 20 minutes. Arsenal dominate possession. Newcastle compact. Early chance likely for Martinelli or Saka. Mid-1, St half Newcastle begin counters. Gordon key threat. Second half, Arsenal push lines higher, risk spaces behind. Newcastle dangerous on transition. Final phase, fatigue sets in. Bench depth matters. Trossard, Havertz versus Barnes, Wilson, if fit. Based on history and tactics, Arsenal should edge this one. Newcastle will fight, likely score, but Arsenal's midfield control gives them the edge. My pick: Arsenal 2-1 Newcastle. Gyökeres and Saka on the score sheet. Gordon for Newcastle. Tight, tactical, but Arsenal's quality edges it. Now it's your turn, Gooners and fans. What's your prediction? Will Arsenal's midfield dominance finally tame Newcastle at St James? Or will Howe's men unleash another shocker? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love this tactical deep dive, smash that like button, subscribe to Arsenal Today Live, and hit the bell so you don't miss our match reaction on Sunday night. This is more than just a game. This is Arsenal. This is history in the making. Football isn't just about tactics. It's about belief, mentality, momentum. And this Arsenal versus Newcastle fixture is drenched in emotion. For Arsenal, Arteta's men know this match is about control and narrative. After seasons of near misses, every clash against a top 6 rival is a test of title credentials. Declan Rice plays not just as a midfielder, but as a symbol of resilience. Odegaard embodies the artistry of leadership. For Arsenal, victory is proof they belong at the top. For Newcastle, Eddie Howe's team represent grit, ambition, and defiance. For a club rebuilding its stature, every win against Arsenal sends a message. Newcastle aren't just challengers, they're here to stay. Players like Gordon and Joelinton thrive on the fire of proving doubters wrong. The emotional stakes are huge. Arsenal must show authority. Newcastle must show fight. And that mental duel could decide who cracks under pressure first. This fixture has history. Flashbacks to 2011. Newcastle 4, Arsenal 4. A game etched into Premier League folklore, proof that chaos can reign supreme in this rivalry. More recently, Arsenal's 2-0 at St James Park in 2023 marked a statement win in their title chase. Newcastle's 2-0 win in May 2022, on the other hand, was the night Arsenal's Champions League hopes collapsed. History tells us, when Arsenal and Newcastle collide, legacies are written, and this Sunday could be another of those nights. Let's talk numbers. In their last 6 head-to-heads, there hasn't been a single draw. It's win or lose. Arsenal averaged 1.5 goals per match against Newcastle in this period. Newcastle averaged 1.16 goals against Arsenal. Possession. Arsenal often control upwards of 60%, yet Newcastle's shot conversion is higher when playing at home. Newcastle's aerial duels, top 3 in the league. Arsenal's progressive passes, top 2. Data suggests the game won't be cagey. Expect goals, expect swings of momentum, expect drama. Bukayo Saka, Arsenal. Arsenal's creative spearhead. His ability to stretch Burn or Livramento, cut inside and deliver killer passes makes him the X-factor. Declan Rice, Arsenal. Rice's duel with Bruno will be the heartbeat of this game. His positioning and ball recoveries could neutralize Newcastle's most dangerous counters. Anthony Gordon, Newcastle. Direct, fearless and clinical. Arsenal must double mark him or risk being undone by his pace. Bruno Gyökeres, Newcastle. The conductor. If he dictates tempo, Newcastle will have confidence. If Rice cages him, Arsenal tilt the battle. Because football is unpredictable, let's explore what else could happen. 1. Newcastle early goal scenario. Gordon or Joelinton shocks Arsenal in the opening 20 minutes. Newcastle retreat into a low block. Arsenal dominate possession but risk frustration. Could end 1-1. 2. Arsenal control scenario. Arsenal score first through Gyökeres or Martinelli. Newcastle chase, leaving gaps. Arsenal exploit and finish 3-1. 3. Set-piece decider. Newcastle nick, a goal from a Trippier corner. Arsenal equalise via Odegaard. Late set-piece could decide a 2-1 either way. One thing is guaranteed, this won't be a boring draw. Arsenal and Newcastle don't do safe. They do spectacle. So here's the bold call. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 1. Gyökeres to score a debut-defining Premier League moment. Saka to deliver the magic. Gordon to strike for Newcastle. But Arsenal's control will see them through. Sunday, September 28th. Arsenal versus Newcastle. It's not just football, it's theatre, it's tactics, it's history repeating, and history being made. Now over to you. What's your score prediction? Who wins the key battle? Rice or Bruno? Saka or Gordon? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because here at Arsenal Today Live, your voice is part of the game. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more tactical breakdowns, and hit the bell icon so you're the first to see our post-match reaction. This is Arsenal, this is Newcastle, this is football changed forever.
Football is rarely about a single match. It's about the ripple effect that matches create. Arsenal versus Newcastle is one of those rivalries that, in recent years, has come to symbolise 2 clashing philosophies: Arteta's controlled chaos, possession-based, positional rotations, and an obsession with pressing triggers. Eddie Howe's resilient defiance, compact defensive blocks, lethal transitions, and clever use of physicality to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm. The past 6 meetings didn't just produce drama, they shaped tactical conversations across Europe. Coaches studied how Arsenal broke down a stubborn Newcastle low block in May 2023, or how Newcastle frustrated Arsenal into goalless frustration in January 2023. These games influenced tactical seminars, coaching courses, and fan debates about whether control or disruption truly wins football. For Arsenal, these clashes forced Arteta to evolve his toolkit, adding variety and breaking low blocks, experimenting with Zinchenko's inverted full-back role, and trusting players like Odegaard to dictate tempo under pressure. For Newcastle, they became a model of how to compete with the Big Six, showing smaller squads could punch above their weight with discipline, pressing traps, and set-piece excellence. Now, as the two meet again, it feels less like a regular league game and more like the continuation of a saga. Arsenal arrive with title ambitions, Newcastle with Champions League hopes. The tactical fingerprints of their past 6 games will shape Sunday's chessboard. Arsenal likely to line up in a 4-3-3, morphing into a 3-2-5 with Odegaard and Rice orchestrating. Newcastle sticking with their 4-5-1 mid-block, Isak leading the line, Tonali and Bruno anchoring midfield. Expect Arsenal's patience versus Newcastle's resilience, and don't underestimate set pieces. They've swung this fixture before and could do so again. Win or lose, Arsenal versus Newcastle is bigger than points. It's a battle of ideas, resilience and evolution. Whatever happens on Sunday, this rivalry has already secured its place as one of the most tactically fascinating showdowns in the Premier League. If you loved this tactical breakdown, hit like, drop your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Arsenal Today Live for more deep dives, transfer scoops and tactical storytelling. Your voice matters. Who takes the edge on Sunday, Arsenal's control or Newcastle's resilience? This isn't just football, this is Arsenal versus Newcastle, the highlights that change football forever.